Good morning and welcome to the west side of Santa Cruz. You're looking at an early morning shot of the absolute amazing right point break, Steamer Lane. We're here at stop number 9 on the ASP World Tour, and you're watching the O'Neill Coldwater Classic on this third day of the waiting period. Joe Turpel alongside former World Tour competitor John Schmuka. John, we had a great delay day yesterday. Got to see a lot of the sights, and now we're all refreshed and ready to go, possibly on day 3 here.
Yeah, we did have a great day yesterday driving up the coast, but as you could see on screen when we first started the morning show, it doesn't look like we would have liked to have seen this morning. It's a beautiful morning here, like you said, on the west side. Santa Cruz, Steamer Lane. Look at that, beautiful sunshine and plenty of sea life around, but not plenty of waves.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is looking a little bit flat out there, but a gorgeous sunrise here at Steamers. We had a lot of the guys on the World Tour kind of venture off to surf some of the other spots here in Santa Cruz. Joel Parkinson, #1 seed, went up just the way to one of their cool little waves and have put on a great performance for all the locals out there. I think the local atmosphere for the people here, they're loving that the WCT guys are in their town.
Oh, yeah, you know, there's a bunch of coastline from here to San Francisco, and it was filled with some of the world's best pros. Some of them elected to stay around Santa Cruz and surf Steamer Lane, trying to get a little bit more experience for those guys who have never been here, which was good. There was still a few waves lingering around, but as you can see on screen today, Joe, it's just not looking like round 2, which is a very vital part of this event, is going to be underway.
Might be hard to get a warm-up surf out there on a day like today. It's looking pretty flat. The other day, though, we had some great waves on the opening day of the waiting period. Let's check out what happened on the opening round of the O'Neill Coldwater Classic. It was a very dramatic day. A lot of people saying they hadn't seen that many upsets in a round 1 affair, maybe ever, Shmoo.
Yeah, you couldn't have scripted this type of end result here. It was a black jersey day. They were on fire. Guys like Pakadauskas really surfed well and looks very comfortable here at Steamer Lane.
He's had a lot of matchups with John Florence throughout this season, and this time Patty Gooddang was able to put on a great show. Big mix-ups, a lot of variety. I love this little jam off the top, and he's always good for a fin throw on that end section.
Yeah, some guys wearing booties, some guys not, and this guy going straight to the air. Heitor Alves surfed. Like I said, no one surfed bad. It just came down to whoever got that second highest scoring ride.
Heitor Alves in the matchup with Patty Gooddang and John Florence. Got to this inside section, was able to throw another backhand air reverse, but it seemed like a lot of these air reverses were still keeping a lot of the guys like Julian Alejo Muniz in the 2nd and 3rd spot, and it was that overall package from start to finish that the judges were really rewarding on the opening day.
Well, I think Pure Surfing won on day #1 in round #1, and as you can see up and riding here, it was Mick Fanning and Dusty Payne. And Dusty, again, Pure Surfing won the heat for him. He was absolutely on fire. Yeah, he went to the air, didn't make that aerial, but prior to that, his power surfing prevailed over Mick Fanning.
Well, you gotta love it. Mick actually started coming back towards the tail end of this heat. They always seem to have great matchups together, Dusty Payne and Mick, and Dusty kind of on this wild card roll towards the back half of the year with not too much pressure to requalify, banking on that injury wild card. It looks like he's just freed himself up a bit and surfing some really good heats now.
Yeah, no pressure for Dusty. Obviously, due to that injury, he probably more than likely will get that injury wild card. A lot at stake for Mick Fanning, though, and a bit disappointed as he congratulates Dusty on his first round win, but Mick will be coming back with a lot of fire in the belly. Now, this man, another story.
Kelly Slater, 11-time world champ, had a couple of great hooks through the inside, but this was really his only opportunity. But look at that classic form. Doesn't get any better than that. Best surfer ever was taking on the young grommets of Kolohe Andino and Nat Young. Kolohe had a good moment off the top there, but it wasn't enough. Shmoo.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. This guy did all the damage, and he just picked up where he left off from the trials. When Nat Young, he more than likely will qualify for 2013, and he will upset a lot of people's dreams at world titles and whatnot. So Nat Young, you know, brilliant. He just really impressed me all the way through this heat.
Having Nat Young come in as the local wild card, he could really change the whole picture on that world title story, sending Kelly Slater into the 2nd round. Here's a guy from Western Australia, Yaden Nicol, who's really been looking for a breakthrough result on his rookie year on tour. He's able to send this red shirt of Owen Wright into the 2nd round.
Yeah, Owen Wright, 3 finals last year in 2011. This year he's struggled a little bit to find that final and podium finish, but Yaden Nicol really, again, it came down to pure surfing, Very fluid, very fast, and a lot of different variation in his maneuvers.
I love his wave selection. These waves started cornering for him on the inside. He was able to let loose with big tail slides like that off the top. Big rips through this inside section. He didn't post anything less than a 6-point ride in that matchup and moved on to the next one. That next heat, though, that took the lineup, we saw South Africa's Travis Logie start off with a big way.
Yeah, big 9.10 for Travis, and you can see just flowing from one maneuver to the other, and they got bigger and badder as he went along. Jeremy Flores was right behind him, though, and these guys started off in the first 30 seconds with an absolute bang. Look at those big frontside turns.
Best opening exchange out of any heat on that opening day. Jeremy was right in the picture with big snaps like that. He was able to get a solid finish all the way through to the inside. He took the lead for a brief moment in this heat, and this real weird story of that heat was CJ Hobgood, former world champ, coming in with just a 2.17.
Yeah, it was interesting, you know. CJ just let these guys paddle around him the whole entire heat. I don't know where he was mentally, but he definitely wasn't in this heat.
Interesting one as that one came to a close. A great opening round to see unfold here at Steamer Lane. You can see the potential there on that opening day, and we're hoping for even maybe some bigger surf later on in the waiting period that we'll dive into a bit later. But let's check out this world title story coming into this event. Shmoo, we had a big discussion this morning thinking that if they already took those 2 throwaways today, we'd kind of have a different picture on what's on paper right now.
We'd have someone with 12 world titles, and that guy is number 2 you see in the world at the moment with the unadjusted ratings. Kelly Slater, like you said, if you were to take away 2 results, Kelly Slater would win his 12th world title. But there's still 2 events to go, and then you'd have Joel and Mick absolutely tied at second place. They'd have to split that second place runner-up trophy right down the middle.
That's why we're loving that this is one of the best world title races in a long, long time. You know they don't want to share any trophies, and it's going to be so interesting with Kelly, Mick, John, even Adriano de Souza, all in the second round here at the O'Neill Coldwater Classic. So big things on hand, and that's why every single call made here for second round is such a crucial one, and there isn't a man better for that job. Contest director Chris Gallagher, 2-time Coldwater Classic champ, is downstairs right now. Good morning, Chris.
Morning. Good morning.
What do you think, Gally? How's it looking out there?
Well, you know, it's an amazing day, beautiful sunrise, everything, but the waves are unamazing. So we are going to call a late day, of course. The buoys are coming up. Things are looking good for tomorrow. Hopefully it hits by early morning, and looks like a great day of surfing tomorrow.
Gally, you talk about early morning tomorrow. Are you talking about 8 a.m. in the morning, or is it looking like more towards the midday?
You know, we're going to make an early call around 6:15 for a possible 6:45 start, but that's just hoping that the swell hits strong enough to have contestable waves for the guys. But we'll just wait it out through the day, make calls every half an hour to try to just nail it when the swell does hit. At
this point, Gally, are you starting to look at backup venues for later on in the week as well?
It's, you know, fingers crossed, but somehow there's something looking like Tuesday might have some waves as well. That's kind of it's looking better and better every day since we made the call not to go to Ocean Beach the other day. So it looks like we might be able to finish everything here at the lane. That's not a guarantee, but let's hope.
Yeah, look, I was looking down the line at the Surfline forecast there, Gally, and it does look like towards the back end of the waiting period, there may be a little bit of south-southwest swell filling in. Is that too far out to predict anything? It looks like it's more aimed at Central America.
Yeah, that one might be fairly shadowed and inconsistent. The lane is fun on a south swell, but it kind of needs to be a consistent swell, maybe a bit more west in it than this one is. So, you know, that would be the maybe the last ditch kind of, we didn't get waves planned, but it may be like better to go to Ocean Beach in that circumstance. The south swells in Santa Cruz tend to be fairly inconsistent, and you could have some really slow heats.
Well, the great news about that, let's focusing on tomorrow, Gally. We could be getting these guys back in the lineup. We know there's the world titles on the line. Out of that crew, who's really been the most vocal in your ear deciding when they want to run?
No one's been really vocal. I've been you know, kind of talking with the guys, and I did tell them, I said, hey, we're not going to throw you out in just anything. We're going to wait for some decent surf. We know what's at stake here, and we want you guys to give us the thumbs up that you feel like you can, you know, put your world title on the line in the conditions that are there. So that's, you know, for tomorrow, that's going to be the call, is to just really wait until it's like, okay, thumbs up. I think this is, you know, we're going to get equal opportunity out there to show our stuff.
Thank you so much, Chris Gallagher, doing a great job through this first part of the waiting period, and we hope you get some good sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be catching up with Gally first thing in the morning tomorrow, but as you can tell, Steamer Lane is completely sleeping right now as we anticipate some huge fireworks in that second round, one of the craziest second rounds we've seen of this entire season. Take a look at that first heat once again, Shmoo.
Yeah, so much on the line for Kelly Slater, and really nothing to lose for Jason Ratboy Collins. And Jason's not going to go down there and lie down for Kelly. He's going to make it as difficult as possible, and especially if we get waves here at the lane. Jason knows his place back to front. Kelly Slater, of course, has surfed here before, but with so much riding on the line, you got to think there's a little bit of pressure on Kelly Slater.
Mick Fanning, Jadson Andre keeps that world title story alive. Also John Florence and Matty Wilco, an exciting flare-up in that third heat. Adriano de Souza has been more of an underdog this year. One of the world's best will be taking on Adam Melling. Then you look at the back half of the draw in that second round. I really like Kolohe Andino versus Jeremy Flores. That's going to be a huge matchup.
Huge heat number 8, Jeremy Flores, Kolohe Andino. But, you know, there's a lot of guys battling to stay. They're on the bubble of the top 22, and they need a big result here. So as much as there's so much hype on the world title, these bubble burners, these guys need a big result.
As you see some of those results there, top 22, you need to make the 22 cut to re-qualify versus the WCT, you know, coming into the next season. So a lot of that on the line in that second round as we check out the beautiful views here in Santa Cruz. And this is where it started it all for O'Neill as a brand. They're celebrating 60 years of innovation, being the first name in the water. Such a great crew to be a part of, Shmoo.
Yeah, absolutely, and Jack O'Neill's done a wonderful job because he wanted to surf longer.
That's exactly it. So thanks for being with us on the morning show today. Join us tomorrow bright and early. We'll be getting things going probably around 6:45, 7 o'clock zone. Until then, enjoy your day, and we'll see you then.
Be nice to your mom.